All right, so arm balances. Very multi-level class, which is amazing. Non-attachment is huge, right? And just really being present with where we're at, which stage of the practice we're looking to work on. The basics is so much more important than the funky stuff. And so we're just going to look at the basics as well, and we're going to get off the bus where we need to get off the bus. Really playing with that spectrum. This is a marathon, right? Don't sprint a marathon, and some of us are not marathon runners. If this is like your second marathon ever, do less, take rest, be easy on yourself, right? This is an intense practice. So just be slow, be steady, do what you need to do. At this level, I can't really babysit, so I can't time your breaths for you. I can't make sure you do your side the same. I don't really want to have to tell you stop pushing yourself too hard, right? If you need my help, just wait, stop. I'm going to notice that you stopped, and then I'll come to you. If I'm teaching someone an advanced arm balance, it's really best for you to let me be present with that person. Does that make sense? It's just learning the etiquette of this level of practice. If you have a question and you can answer it yourself, that's always the best way to go. Like really ask yourself, do I know this? And if you don't, then ask, right? Does that sound good? Does anybody have any questions for me before we get started? Real good. Okay, just so I know, who's sitting lotus on a regular basis? Yeah. Are you doing lotus head down on a regular basis? Is it feeling super secure?
Yeah, but tripods hard.
Yeah.
What I'm practicing right now is going into lotus and tripod, bringing my knees to my arms and then coming back up.
Okay, good.
And I find that typical.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I've got some new core for you specifically. And if we work on that core, then next holiday Monday, we can play with that.
Okay.
Sound good?
I'll keep doing the pro practice too.
Yeah, exactly. Do what you're doing, but then we'll add something to what I gave you last time to get into rooster.
Okay.
So she's the only person doing lotus. Okay, that's good to know. Good. All right, let's get started. So let's have a stick, a strap, and that should do it. 2 blocks if you got, that's good. Just sit here off, that's good. Got 1 block, 2 sticks, and a strap. So we're going to start in your asana, just to really find our ankles. So taking as much height as you need to get the lift in the ankles. A lot of this is going to be prep poses, right? So we're going to do a ton of prep. I'm going to do a couple of minutes of arm balances, so don't be afraid, right? Roll the calves out, lift the skin and the knees. What I'm looking for here, you're never going to lift your feet off the floor until you find those feet. So what am I going to tell you?
A chair?
Height, any height. Yeah. I want you to sit, but I want you to sit so that your hips are as high as your knees. Get this ankle lift. So you should be able to take your stick and slide it in underneath your ankle. If you cannot do that, then I want you on more height.
Alright.
I want you to find those feet there. I want you baby toes down. I want you thinking same stuff for you. If you feel your knees at all, chair, bolsters, whatever you need, okay? Shoulders back, heart center lift, sitting up nice and tall. So it's really important that we find this. Which connection is this? Can anyone tell me? You can tell me.
Is it ankle pushing towards heel?
Yeah. So ankle crease towards heel. Blair, what's another connection? So many. Move up.
Okay. Well, lengthening heel.
Yeah.
And then kicking the shins.
Yeah. Cat to shin. Yeah. We'll just stick with that. So with this one, we're going to have the block wide between your butt, and you want to have your thighs touching and your feet apart so that one day you're actually going to sit between those feet.
Oh.
So often we need, not today, but we want to set it up so that one day we can actually sit between those feet.
You can't do that?
No, because you're not going to be able to lift your ankles.
Okay, because that's what you're looking for, right? And I need another
Yeah.
block.
Yeah. Perfect. Don't worry. It's tricky, right? Especially you guys are not used to me and my language and the way that we do things. There is not a right and there's not a wrong. It's just how we do it for what I'm teaching you to do. Nice. And then we bring those legs together like that. Nice. We're going to take our stick into the palms of the hands. Hands are going to be shoulders distance apart. And then you're gonna take those knees and you're gonna bring them in until those thighs touch down. So your knees are like this. I want your knees together. Yeah, all the way together. Yeah, all the way so those thighs touch. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do a couple shoulder push-ups here. So we're gonna take the arms away from us. We're gonna pull the arm bones into us. We're gonna take the arms away from us. We're gonna pull the arm bones into us. So we're just moving that humerus bone. Right? And you feel what that does to your neck. Some of us walk through life like this. Some of us walk through life like this. Not many of us walk through life with that perfect extension, no tension. Yet. Thank you, Laura. So then go to extension with tension. Take those arms away from you as far as you can. Notice what that does to your mid-upper back. It gets really hunchy. It exaggerates the thoracic curve. Notice what that does to your neck. Yuck. Right? So then pull those arms all the way in, loosey-goosey. Feel that you've got your angel wings, your shoulder blades popping out of your body. And just see what that does to your neck. It probably moves better, but it's often, right? So then find that place where you're taking the arm bones out of the body. So there's no big gap between your shoulder blades. You've not got those sort of shoulder blade angel wings popping out, but then you can move your neck really freely. And then stop with the chin center. So often we can train our eyes as opposed to our neck. So we can be like tucked chin because we're used to texting or looking at our homework or working on a computer. And then we just train ourselves to look up, but we're still not keeping that neutral neck. So get your ears right over your shoulders, close your eyes. Feel a natural curve in your neck. Gently rooting the back of the skull back as you gently root the forehead forward. Lift your armpits up into your shoulders. Lift your ears up away from the shoulders. Root your hip flexors down. Root the toes down. Lift the ankles up. Think about moving the back of the knee to the kneecap. Keep all those connections or your elbows straight. Now that we've found extension, no tension, we're going to externally rotate the arms, internally rotate the arms. Externally rotate the arms, internally rotate the arms. Noah, what do you think is correct? Externally rotating or internally rotating?
Doesn't it depend on the body?
Yeah, so it's a balance between the two. If you want to externally rotate the upper arms, think about an internal rotation of the lower arm and see if you can find that nice stability. I like to think of a little mini bend in the elbows. Make sure you can shake your head for no. Beautiful. Exhale to bring it down, arms, rib, back, don't change. Inhale to bring it straight up. If your arms are changing, do less. So if you're bending your elbows, June, do less and go wider with your hands, June. Yeah. So use your peripheral vision, not your neck, to watch that stick. Exhale to slowly bring it down. Inhale to slowly bring it up. We do thumb on this side, so it doesn't shorten the wrist. You see the difference? Yeah, it also makes you find the base of the thumb and the index. Often in arm balances, we get an injury in our outer wrist, so that helps us to really nail down that point. And then inhale to bring that stick up and just hold like a monkey. You're finding a lot of length in your back body. Yeah, that's good. So I want to think about a ball coming into my armpits, and I want to think about the outer armpit hugging that ball. You see what that did to your neck? Yeah. Now lift your chin just a little bit. There you go. Now see what that does to your neck. Keep the lift just a little bit. This arm's going to pull back in, but then think about that hug and try to fill the space. Does anybody find this easy? So you see the elbows. So what you need to do is you need to do a little less and find a place where you can keep those arms straight, but try and relax right here. Yeah. There you go. 3 more breaths. And then when those 3 breaths are complete, we're going to bring the stick down nice and slow. We're going to stop. We're going to flip the hands so the palms are facing up. Outer wrist, outer elbow, outer shoulder is in a nice straight line. We're going to feel the base of the thumb and the index rooting on the stick. We're going to try and have our elbows as wide as our shoulders and our wrists as wide as our shoulders. And then we're going to bend our elbows to a 90-degree angle. Then we're going to do just a couple shoulder push-ups here. So keeping that 90-degree angle, I want you to think of moving just the humerus bone in and out of the shoulder socket. And notice what that does to your trapezius muscles. So these muscles. Do we want to arm balance with our neck? No. We want to arm balance with every muscle in our body. So then go to extension, tension, go to its gross. Sometimes you gotta date that asshole to know what a good guy's friend. And then pull it all the way back in. See if you can rotate it. And then find that extension, no tension. So we don't have this huge gaping valley, our shoulder blades are hugging our body. Now did you manage to keep your elbows a shoulder's distance apart, or are they doing this? Are you able to keep the weight in the entire circumference of the palm, or is there a part of your palm that is lifting? Are you able to find all 10 fingertips? Some of us are a little bit narrow, some of us might be a little bit wide. Some of us have to think about dropping a block between the elbows, some of us have to think about squeezing a block between the elbows. As we straighten, we're going to pull the elbows apart because they want to come to one another. Upper arm bones don't move. It's not about going straight, it's about keeping the elbows stable. As we exhale, the elbows want to draw away. So we pull them apart. We inhale to straighten. Try and keep the elbows as high as the shoulder, upper arm bone not moving, and bend. So just back and forth, noticing our habits. Are we keeping a neutral neck? Can we keep those upper arm bones from moving and just isolate the movement into the lower arm? It's looking really good, but let's bring this down just a teeny bit. It's not about straightening, it's about that stability. So we want the arm bones higher, yeah, right there. Does anybody find this easy? Rest whenever you need to rest, right? Especially if you're not used to this material, this practice, it can be a lot. And then bend your elbows, find that 90-degree angle, keep that 90-degree angle. Again, rest when you need to. Make sure we're not hunching in the back. Make sure we're not getting angel wings in the back, but just right. Exhale to bring the elbows straight down to the ribs. Inhale to take the elbows up. Without the elbows coming apart, without the ribs popping, we're going to take those arms to wherever they get to. Neck doesn't have to change. If you start dropping your chin, you're doing too much. Exhale to bring the elbows straight down towards the ribs. Inhale to take the arms towards the outside of the ears. Back and forth. Use your peripheral vision to really keep an eye on those elbows. Try and keep your neck stable and supported. Thinking of the crease of all those joints, moving to the cap, with the cap heading back onto the crease. So June, if you would do smaller movements. Yeah. You see, you feel it's a bit wide like that. Let me see.
Like when we're doing it back.
As long as not, you just need to squeeze the elbows in when you come up. These get turned a tiny bit. There you go.
They're making it wider just to feel
Yeah,
like
I know,
my
right?
elbows are
I know.
wider. It's just like another thing.
Let's see it from here. So come up nice and slow. Nice, so just here's where I'm seeing it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And the next time you bring your arms up by your ears, you're gonna hang out. So just go to where you can go without losing the elbows. So you wanna keep a perfect 90-degree angle bend. right? So some of us are straightening, a lot of us are straightening, and we want those elbows to be even, right? And just see where you get to. And then here you can't see your elbows, but you can see your upper arms. Are they closer on one side or the other? Can you look up and see if one elbow is higher than the other? Can you shake your head for no? And this is where you really see who practices with a mirror. Stability series is really important to do with a mirror. It really helps. And again, just be moderate. You know, you don't have to do it all. You bend a little bit deeper, you straighten a little bit more. Humerus bone doesn't have to move. You bend a little bit deeper, shoulders don't have to change. You straighten a little bit more. We're looking for stability here, not mobility. So you feel how your elbows are moving? So you see, now really focus on those elbows. Try and keep them there, take them a little tiny bit higher, and then just move them there. But don't let them move in and out. There you go, just that's far enough, honestly. Yeah. Now keep the arms here and just move the forearms. Without this part of your arm moving. So this part's closest to your neck. So if these aren't working, your neck is going to work too hard. So you feel how those elbows are going really wide. Yeah, so I go more narrow with my hands too. Yeah, there you go, you're stable. Now try and come up and keep the elbows. There you go, hug them and then do the work. But use your peripheral vision to make sure they don't move. Even if it's a tiny movement, find that stability there. So this part doesn't have to move at all. There you go, small, start small. Rest when you need to rest. So literally that upper arm bone, again, it doesn't have to move, right? That is where we're going. The elbows aren't moving, the upper arm bones aren't moving. It's just totally stable. My shoulders are not affected because my hands are doing it. All right, bring it down, palms rest, shoulders back. Take some nice breaths here. Big, beautiful breaths. And then when you're ready, we're going to come forward into tabletop position. Index fingers are going to point straight forward. We're going to spread the fingers away from there. Toes are tucked under to get a good grip on the toes, and we're going to reach back into the hip flexors. We're looking for stability here so our forehead is not going to touch the floor. We want a neutral neck where our arms are with our ears. Puppy pose. Really lift your armpits up into your shoulders and then have the shoulders equally hug back onto your armpits. And then imagine you could move the skin of the armpits towards your ears. We're going to go katana style with our hands a little bit wider. Right? Pinky fingers almost touching the edge of the mat. Think about an external rotation of the upper arm. Think of that internal rotation of the lower arm, just like we learned. Really push into the base of the thumb and the index. Push into all 10 fingertips. Think about your hip flexors moving towards your butt hugging back onto your hip flexors. Think about the backs of the knees moving to the kneecaps hugging the backs of the knees. Think about the ankle crease moving towards the heel hugging back onto the ankle crease. Front thigh to back thigh, calf to shin. It's better, Erica, you're getting it, hey? Yeah, me too, Laura, nice work. I just want to see less wrinkles here. Yeah. Floating ribs in the front, come to one another and lift up, zip your belly. Lower abdomen lifts away from the floor and slides up as if you're going to tuck it in underneath your ribs. You still stay in the puppy, still in the puppy if you can. Think front thigh to back thigh, calf to shin. Then create as much space as you can from your right wrist to your right hip flexor, from your left wrist to your left hip flexor, but no extension tension, right? We're looking for that perfect amount of pulling the arm bones out of the body, but also pulling them back in. Shoulder push-ups to the exact right spot that feels good in our body. It's going to be different for everybody. Lengthen from armpit to hip flexor. Reach those two joints away from one another. I like to move crease to crease. Move your wrists from your armpits. Move your wrists from your elbows. Move your elbows from your armpits. Move your hips from your knees. Move your knees from your ankles. Move your wrists from your ankles. Take up space. Lengthen your right wrist away from your left hip flexor. Cross the body. Lengthen your left hip flexor away from your right wrist. Left wrist to right hip flexor, lengthen, pull them apart. Right armpit to left hip flexor, pull them apart. Left armpit to right. So it's like you're making X's across the body. Right wrist to left ankle. Left wrist to right ankle. Keeping all those connections, you're welcome to stay here in your puppy, or you can slowly start to lift those knees without losing any of that length and space. Really cross-referencing the whole way, keeping a little mini micro bend in the knees. Think about the hamstrings pushing forward and lifting up towards the hip flexors as the thighs meet the hamstrings. Walk your feet forward just a wee little bit. And then if it's available, pick up your right hand, sweep it around, and place your right hand on your sacrum without your spine, pelvis, or shoulders moving. Lift that shoulder head up. Bring that hand back down. Lift the other hand up. Really reach through the elbow crease, the armpit crease, the wrist crease. Bring that hand down. So you girls are going to stay. Everybody else is going to come and watch. These guys are going to stay. Come over. Just quick without thinking, right hand to sacrum. Without thinking? Lord, did better this time. So what do you feel, what do you see the difference here? She's shortening, yeah. Mm-hmm. She's using her muscles and she's managing, but it's also causing her to internally rotate here a little bit. She uses that next to bring it down. And Laura's, she thought about it more. So lengthen hip flexor away from armpit. Yeah. And then bring it down. So now on this side, Erica, when you find your dog, take your time, bend your knees a little bit. And then when you're ready, girls, pick up the left hand. Now pause. Lengthen from right hip to left armpit. Lengthen from left hip to left armpit. Left hip to left armpit. Left hip to left armpit. Now keep lengthening the armpit forward and then find the rotation. Nice. And bring it more steady in here. Yeah, there you go. So much better, hey? Mm-hmm. She overdoes it though, right? Because she's strong and she can, which is something that you are familiar with, right? So if you're a hard worker, you usually work too hard. So she needs to relax a little bit and let this lift. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then release. So really finding that length in that space, right? To make it super light. Let's try one more time. Let's look at on me for a sec, just before we go into it. Was I straight on the side? You're great, yeah. So, as we come into it, again, that tendency is to let this whole shoulder go back, which throws out the spine, right? So if you really find, we like to find the joints and really pull them in different directions. I like to really think of a bent knee and then I can really find that space. See how much I'm reaching through my elbow, just like I did in the joint stability series that we just did? I can place my hand on my sacrum and I really don't shorten much on that side, is that correct? My neck stays very centered, and then I can bring it around like a swimming arm, bring it down, find it. And again, so I have to think about really extending the joints away from one another, really cross-referencing from right armpit to left hip, and then from hip to armpit on its own side. Right? I usually like to do one or two with bent legs, and then it's easier to find it with straight. Right? So that the ribs don't have to change at all. There doesn't have to be that shortening. Why do you think that's helpful in a side crow?
Yes, I draw a shoulder.
Shoulder stability without doing this. Right? Think about lifting up into this. Does that look good for my neck? Right? Cha-ching, cha-ching. All right, so let's do it again, just one more round. Really try and stay really straight in your spine. Down dog is great too, right? Whatever's working in your body today. Find your fingers, find your palms. Going at your own pace, counting your own breaths. Cha-ching. Move those ribs away from that finger in, and then land on the side. Sorry, baby. I'm doing 2 on both sides. Really reach with the elbow. Or wrinkles in the neck. So let the arm come back into your shoulder where, yeah, you feel the difference in the neck. So you know your traps are strong, you just don't want to use them as much as we do. There you go, that's better. Pull those armpits apart. There you go. Once those 2 are done, you're going to come down onto your knees. You can take a child pose. Each inhale, feel the body expand. Each exhale, let the body contract. Let's take 10 nice, deep, full breaths here. And then once 10 breaths are complete, we're going to come into a squat. So we're either going to come into a wide foot squat with the feet pointing out in the same direction of the knees. If squatting is not the easiest thing we do ever. If squatting is easy peasy, we do it a lot. And we're going to do feet at hips distance apart. apart, knees tracking, and see if we can get our armpits into our knees. Hips distance would be 2 fists, nice and tight between the arches. For some of us, we may want to be on some height, sitting on height or rolling something up underneath our heels. We have lots of extra mats if you want an extra mat. Just right here. Yeah. So if you can get your armpits into your knees, do. Have your props handy. So if it's challenging to get your heels down, you can go wider feet.
I could do that too.
Yeah, let's do that, because then you guys will do this. Because that's a better option for you, and you're gonna hold your stick like this, everybody, and you're gonna flex. So those of us with knees and armpits, arms straight, you can flex the wrists like this. You can go back and forth a few times. Find a flex. You're gonna be here a while, so do what you need to do. If you need to take your knees wide, do it. If that's more of the crow you're working on, you're new to crow, then take the backs of the arms to the shins. Again, multi-level class. If crow is not easy for you, then put your arms into your shins, shins into arms. If crow is easy for you, then have the knees straight. And then flex it. Make sure you can shake your head for no. Leg into arm, arm into leg. So if you can, you're gonna bring your arms down. You're gonna try and bring your arms into your legs, like forward fold. Yeah. Yeah. Can you bring them down so that they're here? No pressure if you can.
Yeah, I just don't want the pressure on me.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so,
Elbows forward as far as
like so?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I
And
see.
put them on the underneath.
Oh,
Inside.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then arm pushes into leg, leg rushes into arm. So flex, like you're doing a stand. Good. We're gonna go forward and back. Heels stay down. Arm pushes into legs, legs push into arms. Make sure you can shake your head for no. And then see if you can do circles. Nobody should feel their knees at all. Keep that connection, okay? Whatever's touching your arm, put $1 million bill there and don't drop it.
Michelle, should I have my legs wider if I can't tuck my armpit?
No,
Or
not
just-
necessarily, as long as you're comfy,
Yeah.
because you can do it like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you good at crow? Is crow easy for you?
I don't think any of it's easy, but I can do it.
Was it a super stable pose for me? I would do this.
Okay.
It's like, what are you trying to learn here?
Yeah.
Are you trying to learn heron? Or are you trying to learn crow?
Okay,
Like,
that's
this is
good.
an opportunity to learn one or the other.
Okay.
So if you're not really good at crow, you're not going to learn heron.
Yeah.
So you're better to set yourself up for
I just,
crow.
yeah, okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Circles the other way. You can always go wider with your feet. So lower just ankles. Nothing else moving, just you're moving at your ankles. Everything else is concrete, super stable, gaze is forward. So if we're not used to crow, we're bending our elbows. So with you, Tanya, arm bounces are new. You want to have that bend because that's how you're going to do it. Arm pushes into leg, leg pushes into arm. Inner elbow dropping the block, outer elbow squeezing the block. Can you go on both ways? All right, go onto the heel and go back and forth. Go onto the heel. Did you damage? No, just the weights in the heel. Oh, okay. What do you think is the most important thing to lift your feet up? The arms and hands are active, right? And then bring the weight forward, go back and forth. And listen to your body. And then see if you can come onto the right baby toe edge, left big toe edge. This is so good for our tennis. Right baby toe edge, left big toe edge.
Oh, I see you should walking.
This is great.
Isn't it so good?
That's
This is like playing stuff.
Okay.
Okay, this is playing.
If people install next
I look like a complete freak, but I get no stronger. And then you go all the way to the left, so you're on the right big toe edge, left big toe edge. Again, very multi-level class. Do what we can. Next thing you know, we're doing what we never knew we could. But if we try and do what we shouldn't be doing, our body's going to push back. We should never feel our knees in yoga. We should never feel our wrists. Broaden the collarbones, broaden the armpits, bring it to center. This is where it gets fun. Lift the heels up, bring the heels down, lift your toes. Lift the heels straight up, bring the heels down, lift your toes. Entire time, the only thing that's moving is the feet. Everything else is rock solid. If your toes are pointing out, be gentle. Make sure your feet and your knees are tracking. Take breaks when you need to. You can sit right on two blocks as well, Tanya, if you need to. Just give yourself a rest. And then come up and hold. Breathing. Inner heels dropping the block, outer heels squeezing the block, inner thighs dropping the block, outer thighs squeezing the block. Move your hip flexors towards your butt. Move the backs of the knees towards the kneecaps. Move your armpits into your shoulders. Hug it back. Joint hugs crease. Elbow to elbow cap, hug it back. Wrist crease to the curve of the wrist. Push into the fingers, push into the palms. Breathing. Let's hold for 10 more breaths. Lift your butt a little bit. Humbling, okay? And then when those 10 breaths are complete, bring it down, sit on your butt. So, and again, we have to know our bodies, we have to play our own level. Those of us that are feeling core rich, we do a lot of core, and a lot of core means two different things to two different people, okay? A lot of core to me is you're very able to do inversions, no problem, because your core is really strong. If you do not have an inversion practice and you're not familiar with neutral pelvis, then you're going to do the other option, okay? So let's do the other option first. Everybody has 2 sticks. Everybody has a strap. We're going to put this around our elbows. So that our elbows are shoulders distance apart. We're going to put a block between our feet. And we're going to put 1 stick on our ankles and 1 stick behind the backs of the knees. Almost, right? And then we're going to hold here. And then we're going to see if you can move this forward and back just tiny little bits without moving the elbows and without losing the taunt. And if we can do that, right, this is taunt, oh, never gonna get it, right? Then we come up with a neutral neck. The only thing that's changing here is my ribs are pushing down, my ribs are not pushing down as hard. My ribs are pushing down, my ribs are not pushing down as hard. I'm not moving my elbows, my shoulders, and my neck is staying exactly the same. If the distance between your chin and sternum changes, or if this neck changes at all, then you shouldn't be doing it. You should keep your head on the floor until you can keep a neutral neck. So when you interlace your fingers, go to this, what's the name of that fold here? Erica, tell me. Occipital bone. Have your thumbs resting there, so you can feel if you're moving it. And just be honest with yourself, right? Like, what is the point of lifting your head? Nobody gives up, right? Just you. Nobody's watching. But if you want to get better, it's better to stay on the ground and really get that neutral neck. Those of us that are less challenged in that department can do knees together, feet together. We can have it like this, right? And we can even throw an extra one in here if we wanted to, right? But here I want your thighs together, right? So either or, whatever works. So we come down onto our backs, knees together, feet together, make a nice C. Come down one disc, one finger at a time. Walk your feet towards the seat. You're either gonna have a block between your feet or not. You're gonna have your 2 sticks, ankle, back of the knees. If ankles is impossible, you're gonna do hip flexors. If I think you can do it, I'm gonna give you a stick, an extra stick.
These are those.
Ankles, hip flexors. Zigzag the legs, baby. And you'll see how that feels to squeeze that. Yeah.
So she wants.
Okay.
Under those.
That's what I want. Hip flexors, backs to the knees, ankles. If it's too much on the belly and the hip flexors, ditch it. The strap is a shoulder's distance apart, but wide enough, right? Find your good base. And then you're gonna try and interlace your fingers at the back of the skull. Your thumbs are gonna rest on the occipital bone. I've always had a hard time with that one. And you're gonna notice if it changes, you're gonna reach with your elbows. So, your knee knocking, hips distance. Yeah. So inner thighs are dropping the block, outer thighs are squeezing the block. Big toenails are as far away from you as baby toenails. So
I'm gonna shake you already.
you're not gonna lift your head, you rest whenever you want to rest. You rest whenever you want to rest. Back of the head down, neutral neck, lift your chin. So close your eyes and just relax for a minute with your eyes closed. Relax your eyes truly and feel like you're pulling into the back of the skull. Yeah, looks about right. Reach with those elbows. Find a true neutral neck, so if you open your eyes, you're looking up at the ceiling, not towards your knees at all. No triple chinning. And then use your peripheral vision to notice the distance between your arm and your cheek. Nope, neck doesn't move. Oh, I see. You see that difference? Yeah. You don't think about it, guys, in line with your spine. So,
So it was this way, right?
yeah. So you know what you could do is you could take that metal buckle
Okay.
and put it in line with your nose if you know that you've got a thing there. And then that won't lie. So feel the distance between your nose and your arms, between your ears and your arms. We're looking for symmetry. And then just move your legs up and down, keeping that neutral neck. More neutral neck. Stop. Don't move anything. Close your eyes. Honestly, relax your eyes. Now open your eyes. You're looking at me. I'm not on the ceiling. So don't move your eyes, move your neck. Lift your chin a bit more. It should be curvy, right?
Michelle, now moving my legs.
Yeah, we're moving our legs up and down.
Just hold like up and this way.
Yeah, to and from you for now. Yeah. If it's too much on your belly, ditch it.
No, it's the ankle one. I'm trying to balance.
I know, the ankle one's big right now, right?
This is like sleepy cowboy on steroids.
I know. And you guys are getting too good at it. I'm gonna have to make this a bit thicker. Gonna have to come up with new ways. Try and relax your shoulders away from your ears. Now if you can keep the neutral neck, pull the legs in, exhale to lift the head and shoulders just by pushing the ribs down, but the neck doesn't change at all. Inhale back down. I don't care if you're doing sets of 6, I don't care if you're doing sets of 2, I honestly don't mind. Be reasonable, this is a marathon. Some of us should be doing 10, some of us should be doing 2. But what's important here is that you're keeping the elbows, you're keeping the connections. If you lose the connections, do less. Do however many you're gonna do, and then come up and hold for that same amount. So if you're gonna do 5, come up and hold for 5. So now we're just moving the arms. Yeah, you feel how your neck is changing just a little bit, so let's come back. Yeah, nice. Let's come back. Can you come back and put your head on the floor? Yeah, now can you move your hands up just a tiny bit? So keep your head on the floor and just move your hands up the back of the skull a little bit. There we go. Now just relax for 1 sec. Now see if you cannot move the neck and just drop the ribs to come up. Reach with the elbows and just drop the ribs to come up. Head ribs, yeah. Better. See how your neck didn't move? And then come back down. And then you're just gonna drop your ribs, floating ribs come to one another, but yeah, back ribs drop. Nice. Now you see your neck's not doing it now? Does it feel a little bit different for you? Yeah, so that's what we're looking for. And then once you come up and held for as long as you want to come up, and if you're not doing neck lifts, you can relax your legs anytime. You can keep moving them in and out. So if you're doing head lifts, the next option is to do a little twist, right? If you're not doing head lifts, you're just going to move your legs to the right a little bit without the shoulders moving and back to center, legs to the left a little bit and coming back to center. Those of us doing a lift, we're going to exhale to come up, twisting to the left, but the neck doesn't change. Inhale to come back down. Exhale to come up, twisting to the left, neck doesn't change at all. Inhale back down. However many you did to the middle, you're going to do to the left, and then you're going to hold for that same count. If you're going to the left, you're pushing down into the left ribs, and you're really lengthening from left hip to right armpit. Right hip to left armpit, cross-referencing like a son of a gun, and really finding that push into the side ribs. But your arms do not come closer to your ears on either side. So as you come up to the left, notice if that right arm is coming towards your right ear. So those of us that are probably going to do the pose, you may even want to have the buckle in line with your nose. Oh, nice. Good. Is this sweeping now? Is that Jim? You're tucking, you've got to watch that neck. You feel like you're shouldering on this side?
Oh, yes or not?
What do you think?
No.
Do you think I would have spent all that much time getting you not to shorten your shoulder now? Hell no. Don't shorten on one side and bulge on the other. Really do what you can. Try to keep the legs in the middle. Legs don't move. Unless it's just the legs that are moving. If the shoulders aren't moving, it's legs a little to one side, back to center. A little to one side, do a count, and then hold on one side, bring it back to center. Rest when you need to. Count your own breaths. Do both sides the same. And if I was teaching, when are you going to teach this, right? Sleepy count course, great. Sure is. Basic course, great. This is very technical, but fun, right? And if you want to get side booster, yeah, it's good. Yeah? So the rib cage that you're coming down to the side, really push that down. Push that down to come up, and take the back rib from the other side and lift it up like a twist. So the rib that's coming to the floor roots into the floor, and the rib that's coming away from the floor lifts away from the floor, just like a twist. Don't knock the neck, knock the neck. So all those beautiful twists we just learned, back rib cage roots up, top rib cage roots down. Do however many you're doing, and then come up and hold for as long as it's comfortable. Think about that front left rib, in this case, rooting down. Think about the back right rib lifting up. Keep the length, cross-reference. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. When you're done, come down, take a little Baddha Konasana. Did anybody feel like they found their feet? Yeah. So because we're doing arm balances and we're working towards something that requires a lot of core and is kind of like a forward fold, we're not going to do a ton of back bending until the end because I want us to keep that really engaged. So normally, obviously, when we're doing this much more, we back bend between sets, but we're just going to not do that just because we're not looking for balance practice in a workshop, we're looking for finding something, right? Take 5 more breaths here, right into the belly. Just let that release. And then draw your knees together, roll off to the side, and let's look what we're working on. So check this out. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're either gonna do number 4 pose or we're gonna do half lotus. I think we all know what we're doing, right? If we're not lotus people, we're obviously not gonna do lotus, right? So I believe the only lotus person is Lara, so that's for Lara and only Lara. And then we're just gonna loosen it just so it feels good, right? Really thinking of your connection. So if I'm loosey-goosey, I can like do this, right? That's what's gonna happen. I feel nothing, like maybe a tiny 2 at a time, 1 at a time in my T-band. Whereas here, if I really find it, I can feel just as much there. And if I keep those connections, the feet, ankles, everything, I'm like, ooh, I'm really working, I'm getting a really good stretch. So first we're gonna stretch it, then we're gonna release it, lengthen the back body. We're gonna think of what we just did, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go up and down, but we're not gonna let those legs move. Right, so it's none of this. Okay, keeping those joints stable. And then maybe we're gonna hold up and we're gonna go bam, bam, bam. Maybe it's a set of 1, maybe it's a set of 2, maybe we hold, whatever. And then we're gonna go without the legs moving, bam, bam. I push it to the bottom rib, I take this back rib and I lift it up, but my neck is not tense. My elbows are active, right? I come back down, I go to the other side. Nothing has changed here. If you think it's beneficial for you to strap in those elbows, Erica, I want you to. We're gonna come up, exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. I push down into the right ribs, I lift the left ribs up. Have my legs moved? Have my elbows moved? The only thing moving is my ribs. I'm doing it with that really solid core. I'm thinking neutral pelvis the whole time. We're gonna do that, then we're gonna do number 4. We're gonna love it, right? So if we can't do full number 4 with a neutral spine, right? But we keep those feet really active, bam, 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 right? Or it could look like this, right? Do as many as you do, hold this side, bam, right? Not good, bad neck, bam. Sometimes we hurt ourselves most when we're teaching, so we're running through it, right? Lara, guess what you're doing? Right? It's like a seat, like you're sitting on the floor. You're gonna really lengthen the back, you're gonna lengthen the neck, bring it down to one side. Use your elbows to really find the ribs and the spine nice and straight, and then find those elbows, however many you wanna do, and then up to hold. And then the other side. I like to go in and out and not move the arms. Like really use my peripheral vision and try and keep the shoulders, elbows, arms completely stable. Yeah, it's important if you're gonna do full pose. So when you're ready, number 4, half lotus, right leg first. If you feel like you used a prop before that really helped you, use it, right? And so if you wanted to, you could do number 4, put on the floor there, and then just little lift, little down, little lift, little down.
Say it again.
So come into number 4. Yeah, and then if you wanted to go deeper without using the arms, put your foot on the block. Yeah, and then just little lift, little lower, little lift, little lower.
Here, or the.
Here.
Oh, I like this. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what you,
Yeah,
okay.
if that makes sense. If that feels better.
It has been bothering me, so.
Here. Depending, see how that feels.
Right, okay.
So first we're going to release with the thread the needle. We're not doing the core just yet. We're going to open up that hip. So number 4 pose, we want this guy. Right here, you feel your pelvis isn't level. Do you feel that?
Yeah, my pelvis is not level naturally.
Yeah, no one's is. But if we can try and level it out in yoga, then the odds of it leveling out in life really strongly increase. So now that's level. So you want to think about this hip flexor moving this way, sitting your butt into my stick.
Okay.
Push into my stick. You feel that difference? Nice. so now your hips are level, good, and then don't let the hips move, and you're just gonna root this forward without the hips moving. Good, and you're gonna pull this femur in. Now this is your spine. I want your head in line with your spine. Yeah, there you go. And then I want your armpits equal distance from your shoulders, good. Now try to keep the pelvis level like that, and if you want to go deeper, you can pull it in, but try and keep that sort of equilibrium. Not something that if you wanted to learn more about that, I'm obsessed with that, but it's not at this level.
Yeah.
Yeah, come see me in a group class, or a beginner workshop. Front thigh to back thigh, calf to shin, lift up away from your body as the arms pull down. Remember the morning practice, how we got our elbows on the floor and we broadened the collarbones when we were doing intense leg stretches? We got that sternum bud lift. See if you can find it here. Knee up away from the floor, Laura. If you can.
Michelle,
Mm-hmm.
so if I do this, and then bring my shoulder back down, is it still hard to do my shoulder because I can't push it or my hip if I do that? But does that then hand down?
Your shoulders are different now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's better. And use your muscles, inner thighs dropping the block. Yeah. Inner thighs dropping the block. Yeah, because you don't need your elbow, you want those muscles to be strong. And then keep the legs where they are, release your arms. If you want to do less with your shoulders and you just want to take a break, arms down beside you like you're doing a little bridge. If you want to work more of the headstand variations, then you can do headstand arms. I sometimes like to do this arm, which is like an Urdhva Dhanurasana arm, a pincha arm. If I'm feeling, that the headstand arms, I'm looking for that or whatever. If that was really easy, then I would do an Urdhva arm. I want you to think about your elbows, push against me. Yeah, more hard. Yeah, good. Now find the inside. Nice. Now find this, moving this way. There we go. You feel that? So the elbows are moving in all directions. Yeah, good. So again, move the legs up and down. Do your elbows move? So how should your elbows move? Yeah, shoulders distance. Armpits hugging. Armpits hugging. Nice hugging armpits over here, ladies. Is your neck neutral? Sounds like So with you, we're not really nailing that elbow connection, so I'd go back to headstands and I would try and keep this space in the neck. And if it's easy breezy, bring the leg in and out a few times, then the head lifts. You can go back to your arms being like this if you like.
I'm trying this one.
I know that would be tricky, you can try it.
If your legs stay up, so right?
Yeah, and then you lift just your ribs, and now you're just moving your head. So go back to headstand.
Yeah, that's hard.
And just a few up and down, up and down.
Do the legs stay still or are they going down and up too?
Just keep the legs still. Yeah. You could do it all, right? But we're just learning, because it's new, we're just doing the most basic. I don't start sleepy cow core with all of it. I just start with what's basic. Yeah. And then come up and hold up for as many as you want. So let's see if we can find the stability in those elbows. Yeah, let's bring this guy in a little bit. Nice, so you're pushing against me, push against me, push against me, push against me, head down, push against me. There we go. So now just use your peripheral vision, don't let those move. Just the ribs push down, neck doesn't have to change. And you can just move the legs, right? Until you get that shoulder stability, just moving the legs is a great option. And then we're gonna come down when we're done. And we're gonna twist to one side.
Or our arms still, our hands behind our heads still.
Yep. And then we're just gonna do up and down on that side. So on this side, it's a weird twist because your left is really pushing down, right? Or not, right? So you need to support the higher. Yeah.
Okay, oh, I see.
Shoulders stay down, spine stay straight. Nice. And you can just hang up there with the twist. You can bring your arms lower, Yeah. Like, do you need to do core at that level? What do you think? Are you ever gonna need to teach someone how to do that arm balance? Who cares? But be present here, learn this, right? Really find your feet, find big toe mounts away from baby toe mounts, find your elbow creases, find your armpit creases, memorize those checkpoints. And then you come up, you hold for whatever you're coming up to hold. And then head comes down, see how you shortened on that right side a little bit? Yeah, good to know, right? Really active legs, lead with the backs of the knees, bring it up. And then go the other way, so stop. What do you need to do?
And then again.
Always, in between every single thing. You watch, you want to practice, it's always lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Shoulders completely down, so shoulders don't lift. Come down to that other side. Keep those legs nice and active. Wedge that bottom leg if you need to. Get off the bus if you need to. This is an advanced class. If you've already gone too far, don't go any further, back off. Maybe you just hang here in the number 4 twists, they're amazing. Maybe you do core in the number 4 twists, right? We are all different. Accepting where we're at and just working there is brilliant. Armpits into shoulders, shoulders hug armpits, and see if you can get the core there. Into me, yeah. Really think about the cross-referencing. So here, I want the shoulders to come up even. So this rib roots, this rib lifts. You see what I'm looking for here? Now try and do it without the neck changing, just the ribs working. There you go.
This is so weak.
It's not weak. You're the only person doing it. It's
Well,
extremely
compared to the other
strong.
one.
Yeah, yeah.
It feels very different.
But it's way better now. I like to think of a corset running here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you're holding, so everyone's doing their own counts, everyone's being responsible for their own stuff, no one's pushing past their edge. Thank you for listening and doing and being. Listen to your knees. And then when it's done, release your arms, bring your arms lower than your shoulders, back up to neutral, and we'll do it on the other side. So remember, if you can remember for you, you try to bring it up here, if you feel like you can. And you try.
I'll try one more time.
Yeah. And it's also just for practice at home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
It's really hard.
It's humbling. Open up the backs of those knees or knee, depending on what you did. Maybe 1 or 2 at a time. And then find a neutral pelvis, pubic bone, hip bones level. Lengthen the armpits away from the hip bones, lengthen the head away from the shoulders, and bring the left leg first into number 4. And then, or half lotus if you're Lara, and then bring it in. Reach with the elbows, reach with the armpits, reach into the hip flexors, reach into the ankle creases, from crease to cap. Cross reference from right hip to left armpit. Left hip to right armpit. And so remembering your numbers, ideally you're going to do both sides the same. You're responsible for your stuff. You're doing your own counts. When it feels appropriate, you're going to do the up and down core work here, either with your arms beside you or behind the back of the skull. You're just going to move those legs up and down, up and down. If you feel like you need to be here longer to be balanced, be here longer. If you were to close your eyes and open your eyes, you are looking up at the sky. We have so many texting necks in this room. So we want those elbows and shoulders distance apart, just like in an arm balance. It's creating that foundation. We can't control them here. We don't want to control them with all the weight of the body on them. Or we don't want to put all the weight of the body on them. Again, when you've gone up and down your number that feels appropriate for you, you come up, you hold up. Watching the space, watching the neck. So this is also for Firefly, right? So those of us that want to learn Firefly, we'll work on that. We're working towards it next bank holiday. So Easter Monday, we'll do a double, we'll do arm balances and just work on what you've worked on here. If you do this homework, we can move on. So keep the distance from hip to armpit. When we're done with that, come to number 4 pose and do it there. Remembering to support that bottom leg. Number 4 twist is next. Yeah. And then you do the side core. So when you do that side core, you want to keep the shoulders level to start. So you may have to wedge that bottom leg. Really, really active feet. I want to listen to that inner knee. And then I think of a corset running between my bottom floating ribs and my pelvis, and I'm just shortening that corset, shortening the strings, opening the strings, shortening the strings, opening the strings. And so you think about really rooting, if you're on the right side, you think about really rooting the left ribs down and lifting the right side up. Tell me if that feels right. It's easier for me to explain it when I'm doing it. Yeah, left ribs down, right ribs up as you come up. Both push down, but then think about lifting that other side up to stay level. Does that make sense? Nice. Yeah. And you don't have to come up. What I think of are these ribs front, yeah, the twist. Front rib cage on that side lifts down, this side lifts up. Very nice. Yeah. So this one's different. So come down. This goes this way. No. And then think of this. Now think of, find your length from hip flexors. Nice. Now both ribs root, but you're going to think of this guy lifting up and this guy pushing down more to lift to knee. Come up, like you're doing a, yeah. So as you come up, it's like a twist. This pushes down, this lifts up. No. Yeah, there we go. Shoulders and neck don't change. Come down, put your neck, and then come back up. You felt you totally lost your neck?
Yeah, I was like trying to.
So it's a twist, but this stays stable. So you know how we twist here?
Yeah.
Try and see if you can find that. There you go. And then you do the other side. Yeah, it's interesting, hey? It's so much easier to do these arm balances on one side than the other. And everybody's different, and there's no rhyme or reason that I've ever been able to figure out. When you're done, you've done your sides the same. Let's all meet in snow plow, which is flat on our backs, knees together, feet nice and wide. Just bring your hands onto your belly and just breathe. So Lara, I do that in combination with the other core that I taught you to do the heads down notice.
Okay.
So I try and do them together, or I do half and half, depending on the day. But if I want to really nail it, I do the whole thing.
We'll work it in.
Not every day.
No, not every day.
Twice a week is more than enough.
I'm glad you said that because I was going to say 3 times a week.
You get to decide, meet in the middle.
Sounds good.
Big belly breaths. If you want to take your arms in a different position, go for it. You could do straight, you could do cactus, you could do anything you wanted to do. Just find something that's a little bit restful. Let the breath wash up and down the body. Let the eyeballs sink heavy into the skull. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly open up your eyes and you're going to truly observe where you're looking. Are you looking towards the knees? Are you looking towards the wall behind you? Or are you truly looking up towards the ceiling? Did either of you have to change? I didn't. Did you? Let's go 10 more breaths. So this is a hard one, so I'm going to ask Lara. Lara, if somebody was having trouble finding their fingers and their elbows in all these poses and were doing pincher prep, what prop would you give them?
I would make them use a stick.
Yeah.
But there's
Stick
other stuff you
comes up.
showed me that was good too, but that would be
Yeah,
the first
that's
thing.
the first thing, right?
The other one would be like the block between with your palms up.
That'd be a good one.
That one also really helps me.
Yeah, yeah. Or if they're really not having trouble with fingers, they could squeeze the block with their hands.
Yeah.
Feet together, roll off to the side. So let's look at pinch and prep, right? We've got the missing sticks. So again, we're not all the same. So if we have trouble pulling our elbows apart evenly, what do you think I'm gonna do, Erica?
Pull your elbow, that's right.
Yeah. So if I'm like finding that I'm always doing this, right? My right arm or my left arm is working harder than the other one. I'm gonna strap it, I'm gonna put the buckle in the middle, and I'm gonna have it in line with my nose so that I make sure I'm doing it even. If I was having trouble finding my fingers and joint stability and I'm not used to arm balances, then I would use a stick, palms up, thumbs with index, and I'd really root and I'd make sure that I didn't do this, because we see this all the time. Right? Even in this like body that's pretty bendy, that looks gross, hey? Look how poorly my neck moves. So this is a great option. Those of us that are not having issues with that rotation are gonna do this. If we can keep a hip flexor stick, we're gonna keep a hip flexor stick, lifting it up. We're gonna walk it in, right? We're gonna look a little bit forward with our eyes and a little bit forward with our neck. Some of us do this, right? 10 out of 10. We don't, yuck, right? Find a neutral-ish neck and then look forward with your eyes. And then without the hips moving, you're gonna pull this guy in and you're just gonna hold it, right? Stick doesn't have to change. Without anything else moving, you're gonna pull this guy in and hold it. This guy's gonna come down, you're gonna come down. Nice rest. We wanna try and keep the neutral neck happening. So if we know when we come in and we're like this, or our shoulders are like, we're getting this like slope down from our C7, you know, we're not able to do this yet, or we've got a nice neutral neck, then use a block for today, right? And just get this. If our neck's like this in life, what do we want to do in yoga? This? No. We want to do this, even if it means this. All right, so when you're ready, get the props you think you need. You can do it on the wall, babe.
Okay, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, and then you can do it like this.
Oh, okay.
Just because I'm gonna be really busy with that.
Okay.
Like, I can help you too.
Okay.
Alright, so whatever you want, tabletop, elbows on the floor. Use the prop you think you need. You tell me. Remember, you know the answer to the question, answer it. You know the answer to that one.
weird option, you didn't, okay, so I have a hard time bringing my elbows.
Both, you
I
can
guess every, I have a hard time bringing my elbows.
right?
I have a hard time
There's no
doing
right answer. Just like, do this for 6 weeks, do the next one for 6 weeks. It takes years to learn pinch-up. Now, let's try and hold the stick but have our knees as far back as we can. Right? So let's challenge those hip flexors. Pull the hip flexor stick towards the butt. If you need to move your knees forward, challenge yourself. Take those thighs back. Back the knees towards the kneecaps. Kneecaps lift up. Ankle creases to heels. Do a couple shoulder push-ups here. Move that humerus bone in and out of the shoulder socket. Notice how when the arms go all the way in, we get these angel wings. Notice how when we push the forward too much, we can't move our neck or our trapezius muscles fire. So June, our knees are on the floor and your elbows moving out on the right side. Keep the ribs lifted, keep the belly zipping, and then find extension, no tension. Know your habits, right? So if you get tension in your upper back, ditch it. If you don't use your fingers, use your fingers. And then just a tiny little bit, start to lift those knees. And then just like we did in down dog, slowly, slowly start to lift those knees. Shoulders not moving. Keep that nice hugging of the armpit into the shoulder backing around. We know, let's bring those shoulders forward so that they're right over the elbows. To me. Yeah, you see that straight up and down now? Yeah. And that strap's a good one for you because I just noticed you do tend to sway one side or the other, so it's good. Hug that stick, walk it in as close as you can with those hip flexors, cross reference. Is your neck disappearing? Are you turtlenecking? Are you valleying? And then 1 foot lifts, hold as long as you can, counting your breaths. You have a block on your butt, lift it up. No, knee bends. Bring it back down. Bring it all the way down. So A, we just did the habit, right? That's twisting. And then look what Eric is doing. Yeah. Laura, bring your thigh right into your belly. Don't drop the stick. Yeah. Think crow.
My hand on that.
Yeah, perfect. Done.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, rest when you need to rest. Take a child's pose, ditch the stick, point your feet, stretch out your ankles. Hug your armpits into your shoulders and wrap it around. Nice. And take a little rest. So evening out your sides. Let's lift this hip flexor up. Yeah, bingo. Beautiful. That block is there and you're just balancing. Your tendency is your ear is coming closer to this side. You feel that one shoulder's working, so the weight's coming in here. Yeah. So finishing up your sides in the next couple of breaths, and let's take a rest. What's happening in your neck, Laura? So what do you gotta do to those arm bones? Yeah, one more time, baby. Now look forward. Let those arm bones sink into your shoulder sockets. No.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit, right? Does that feel better? Yeah. Exhale out what you don't need, inhale in what you do. Exhale to let go of what no longer serves you, inhale to manifest what does. So we're resting now. Let's rest. Let's rest 10 minute child's pose. Ditch your straps, find what you need to be totally comfortable, stretch out those ankles. Let's take 5 more breaths here. there. All right, hands underneath the shoulders, come up, look. So with or without a wall, or just do what we just did, doesn't really matter. Bring it in, fix your gaze, square those hips, and then just nice and slow, lift it up and that knee. Right? Then to come out of it, this leg straightens and just very slowly. See how much I'm lifting my hip flexors? Right? Maybe it's just slowly lift the hip flexors, slowly come out of the hip flexors. Right? Hip flexors win the tug of war, knees win the tug of war. Hips win the tug of war, knees win the tug of war. Doesn't really matter, but try and keep the pelvis from twisting. If you don't need a wall, face the wall but don't use it. Pull those femurs in, pull those femurs in, pull those femurs in. Okay. That's your mantra. Or you do what we just did. Or you take child's pose. Or you throw your legs at the wall, right? Yeah, I can do it, relax.
Oh, you're moving window?
We are.
Oh. I forgot how hot I was.
In more ways than one, it's about 10.
Yeah.
So pause, you're shortening on one side, go back to basic, bend, right? Don't shorten here. So it's everywhere. Relax the neck. Lift this up. No, not the thigh, hip flexor. Hip flexor. So this, we're gonna keep the length there.
Okay.
So we're still working bent knee, you guys. Stick with the program. It's, we want to find that length through the two sides of the torso. So it's, yeah. There you go. Okay. And then really keep this knee rooted down, lift up into the butt. Lift this side by lifting up into that butt. You should shoot it and straight on.
Yeah.
I think that'll help you. Because we're getting a shorten on one side.
Yeah.
The side where the leg is bent. It's the same, it's this, right?
Yeah.
You're shortening on this side. Ankle, 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 ankle hip flexor. So your work is to keep this thigh pretty close on this stuff. Holding a stick is a great option. So take a quick peek. Oh, she's gone.
Oh, what was he doing?
Same thing.
Yeah, smaller though.
Yeah, I noticed it one time when I shot head on.
What was that?
I was like, oh, that's so interesting.
It's tiny, and just to give her a visual, the leg that's bent, just like when we're doing this, is shortened.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah.
It's the same pose,
And I
right?
feel like it's like maybe loose if you just shoot right up into it.
You have to go super slow. Everything you have to and you eventually can do it fast, right? But you should eventually be able to do both. I'm a slow person because, I came from injury and I don't want to get into injury, so I'm slow. This doesn't make it right, it just makes it my way.
Michelle,
Mhm.
keep this in place. What's the trick to?
It's practice.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep coming. You gotta nail that neutral pelvis before that's gonna come. It's just practice.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just a certain type of strength.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To get this feeling in it, I almost
I know, it's very difficult to.
That area.
Yeah, mind-body connection.
Yeah.
And so what I would do with you is I would just teach you neutral pelvis is where I'd start, because you can't do anything about stabilizing your shoulders until you're stable with the pelvis.
Yeah.
Yeah, just build a lot of strength in that area. And there's videos, there's joint stability series with the legs on the wall, with the knees bent. Video on my website, that would be so great for you. I was gonna pick one thing, that's what I would say too. Do we feel even or do we need more time? Yeah. How about let's say 3 more minutes. If you want help, let me know. And if you need to go to the wall just because the mind thinks you do, go for it. 3 minutes, make sure you even out your sides in those 3 minutes. If that means I'm taking a child's pose for 3 minutes because that's what's best, do that. Yeah, I would say more stability before I jump up, personally, you know? Yeah, but there's tons of ways to do that, and you've got a lot of tools here for joint stability, so that's good. Lots of that, lots of opening through the hamstrings too, and just finding that solid core, it's a lot of core. All the core. Good, Erica. Better? Yeah.
Feels better.
Yeah. And that's it, right? It's not memorization because you'll never remember.
Yeah.
You have to feel it.
So then I decided.
But don't, because then she'll overdo it because she's an achiever and no, listen though. She'll overdo the bent leg side and then she'll be into the opposite side. Remember when I told her with the arms? You know what I mean? She's very strong and very strong-willed, so she will overdo it. So for her, it has to be, feel it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
But
for everybody,
that's what I was
yeah.
really trying to feel,
The tendency is that the knee bent side is gonna shorten.
which makes sense.
Yeah. But if you're super strong, you can overcompensate. It's like, that's why little tiny micro movements, because otherwise you'll just swing it to the other side, pendulum. So finishing up, everybody finds a child's pose. So Laura, shoulders away from the wall. Yeah. Now armpits to the wall. Yeah. Shoulders away from the wall, armpits to the wall. Armpits need to win right now. But usually the shoulders do. So armpits need to win. You do. Armpits need to win. Let the armpits win. Right about there. Now get rid of the tension in the neck by injecting your arm movements just right. Yeah. You feel that? Looser. And then pop it in. Bend the knees. Don't change the shoulders if you need to. And then pop.
This is my other side.
I know what. Do what you can do. Can you come up on that side?
I know I only came up, yes, one time I came up twice on this side.
Yeah. So even it out. I'm gonna spot you. Yeah, you're tired. So find a hold pause, wait for me.
Yeah. This is awesome.
Ready? Bam. Don't keep them. Oh, just don't keep them, I don't care. So it's numbing your shoulders. And then bring your knees down. So hold it for a sec, Erica, what do you think she needs to do? Yeah, hip flexors back. Then put your hip flexors back, bend your knees. Put your hip flexors back, bend your knees. Bend, 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 bend.
I couldn't make it go back.
No, I know, it's all good, that was enough. Yes. I just want her to see it so she can read it, right? Just because she can read it doesn't mean you can do it. Otherwise she'd do the pose, right? And you do it sometimes, but not at the very end after you've done it 6 times. But it was nice for Erica to be able to see it. 10 more breaths here, exhale what you don't need, inhaling what you do.
This is a banana. Was that a banana?
anterior tilt, posterior tilt, uterine posterior tilt,
I would have.
like this. Because as soon as it gets tough, she does this, and then she can't get this.
View, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. What's your habit? You're such a rarity.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see it a lot in Asia and occasionally in First Nations, that anterior tilt. No, posterior tilt, or tilt. Posterior. She's a rarity, this one, which is wonderful, because she's a great learning tool, because that is so rare, very rare, very rare.
Yeah, it was really.
And then hands underneath the shoulders, we're gonna bring ourselves up, we're gonna sit on a block. So roll over it, sit on a block, take your feet as far away from you as you need to find the center of your sit bones, interlace your fingers, and just lift and lengthen. So some of us will have them closer, some of us will have them further, but let's see if we can find a nice straight back here. Lift your toes. So think ankle creases moving towards the heels, heels lifting back up. Think about the hands pushing down on the kneecaps, think about the knee creases lifting back up. Think about the hip flexors moving down to the sit bones rooting down. Butts pull back up onto those hip flexors. Think about your armpits lifting up into your shoulders. Shoulder heads back, shoulders relaxing, armpits move forward. Think about the elbow crease moving towards the elbows, but not to extension tension. Pull the elbow cap back to inject the humerus bones. Think about the wrist crease moving towards the calf. That's important because if I'm dead weight in arm balance and I'm not lifting up, then it's going to be too much weight in my wrist. See if you can keep those connections, bring your hands to the knees, squeeze the knees. If you can't keep the knees together, take the feet apart, put a little block between your thighs so that you're not doing, you know what I mean, not knee knocking. Yeah. So if you can't keep those knees together, put a block, yeah. And then left hand's gonna come around and grab the outside of that right knee. We're gonna bring the right fingers down beside us. So this is where it gets really tricky. The habit, right? Shortening, bulging, the side I'm twisting on. So I have to really root the right hip flexor away from the left armpit. I have to root the left hip flexor away from the knee if I'm twisting to the right. So this and this are moving away from one another. This and this are moving away from one another. Does that mean everything else stops moving away from one another? No. Front thigh, back thigh, calf to shin. If I can keep the weight even on my sit bones and not move my knees, maybe my elbow comes around. Again, watching that we don't bulge into the ribs. We're a rib popper. Don't shorten the backside. Maybe the hands come into namaskara, but don't allow the torso to come closer to the thighs if you can help it. Reach into those elbows. Broaden the collarbones, broaden the armpits, shoulder heads back. Yeah, so try and think about moving this away from the thighs. Yeah, there we go. But keep the weight even in the sit bones. And then unwind back to center, hands on the knees, push the knees together, find that lift. And then other side, so hand counts, this helps me to find this, right? So I'm pushing into my hand is pushing into that. I keep all the wrist connections, I bring the hand behind. Again, you can drop the weight to the back, you can drop the weight to the front, you can drop the weight to the right butt, but really ideally, we're gonna find the weight even. Shoulder heads back, armpits forward. Just really start to twist lower abdomen, mid-abdomen, rib cage, upper chest, shoulders. Keep the length even in the two sides of the torso. Maybe the elbow comes around, maybe it doesn't, maybe the hands come into namaskara. But we don't shorten into that right side. We have to keep the distance so that the hands come into the heart center. If we're shortening, not so good for an arm balance, right? Find that space. Beautiful breath.
Michelle, if my hands aren't in my heart center, should I just go back to this?
So how would you do last?
Going back to
Take your feet away from you. Alright, good question. Think front thigh, back thigh, calf to shin, inject that right femur so we keep those thighs level, knees level, ankles level. Lengthen from left hip to right armpit, lengthen from right armpit to right hip, lengthen from left hip to right knee. Does that make any sense to anybody? Yeah. And if it doesn't, it doesn't, right? Like, this stuff is stuff we build on. Mind awareness and body connection it is a lifetime. And then unwind back to center, hands on the knees, nice big inhale to lift and lengthen. You can stay there or you can come forward and you can put a block underneath your heels. Okay, that's a great option. If you can do it without the block, you can do it without the block. Either or. Same, different. And then again, fingers come down. Really think of the legs. See if you can keep the legs nice and steady as you start the twist. Maybe the arm can wrap around. Maybe you can bring your hands down on this one. And then find it here. Okay? So there's a couple of cheats. We know the cheat where we can take our hip to our elbow, stack our joints, and then just kind of hover like that, like a teeter-totter. And as long as our wrists and elbows are stacked and that there's not more weight in the outer wrist, we're good. If that's easy, then we shouldn't be using the elbow. We should be lifting up without, right? So either or. Where should the gaze be? Forward. So we bring it around. You can bring the arms down straight. Hands are wide, katona, shoulders distance apart. Really squeeze the thighs. Bring the weight forward into the hands. You can find the wrists and the elbows stacking. If you need to bring your right hip to your right elbow, you can. Face comes down, lift the outer heel up. Or, like I said, if you've already got issues finding shoulder stability, obviously you do less, right? You just work on the twist.
The sheet, so you just go.
Yeah. Yeah. So think outer trochanter's, but try not to do it sacrificing this shoulder.
Okay.
So you gotta really lengthen on that side.
Interesting.
So you're bulging here.
Yeah.
It's the armpits. Yeah. So watch your shoulder. So it's like a teeter. So you want to really watch that outrigger. So you've got to think strong as an ox. Bring it forward. My shoulder doesn't change, Erica. I don't sacrifice. I find it, and then if my shoulder doesn't change, I don't angel wing. I bring it up, but you're still angel winging. So just don't angel wing.
Yeah.
So go slow and don't angel wing. Angel wing.
How do you bend the elbow without enjoying? It's like,
Because what's your habit? Yeah. Nice there.
oh, I'm getting rib cramps.
Rib cramp? Rib cramp. Yeah. Intercostal muscles. Reset. Looking good. Try wider with your hands and cha-ching here.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a lot of core mice too with the twist.
Yeah. But we have all the tools, right?
Yeah.
Do the video, practice, we'll work on it in Holiday Monday. Let's do the other side. So heels are on a block or heels, arms on a block. So a lot of us just need to work with this, right? Learning how to do that without changing the shoulders. There's no harm in that, right? And then hand comes around, you can start the twist. Here's a great place to really find that length in space and really stabilize that shoulder. And then you can bring it around, find that length in space, really stabilize the shoulder, Find that length and space, sort of stabilize the shoulder, find the twist. So check, check, check. If you lost the shoulder, go back to where you can find the shoulder. And then hands come down. It's a wide shoulders distance. It just makes it easier. Find your fingers, find your palms, bring it over, find your outrigger of your elbow, and just lift it up. Or hip to elbow. Yeah, go back.
Did you see me?
Not yet. That's your first proper side curl. You're getting stronger, Laura.
It's the way of not having.
Yeah, but
How is the cheating?
you put your hip on your elbow, which is fine. It's just so much easier.
I can't do that.
Because
can't do it on one side.
like this.
I don't know, I can't do that.
Yeah. One side, but not the other.
I've always just done the hard road, I guess.
Right way to go, girl.
That's really strong.
Yeah. And then once you've done both sides evenly, let's just find a nice down dog to loosen that up. Or a puppy if you prefer. So 5 more breaths here. See if in those 5 breaths you can find one habit and change it. Or inject those arms just a tiny, yeah. Feel the difference? Good.
I just think the personality habits make me think about doing habits.
Our habits are interesting. We think it's the opposite of what it is, right? If you're late people, you're always pissed off when other people are late. It's the funniest thing. And late is a habit that is very easily changed. Just don't be late. Stop making excuses. You will have a much less stressful existence. Trust me on this one. It's so stressful being late all the time, it really is. And it's a stress you can eliminate so easily, right? And it's a big stress. And driving stress, and biking stress, and running stress. It's like, we're gonna do a class. Why? We do it to ourselves, it's true, and that's why it really hurts. Says raising head. Alright, looking. So those of us that can do side crow and can do teddy bear headstand with no troubles, we've got complete stability in our shoulders. We're going to see if we can do just the up on the crow pickup. Just the up. Just the up, and then you're going to come down. You want to get really good at the up without a shoulder pop, right, before you do a proper push-up. Just up, just up, just up, and then again, and again, and again, and again. Those of us that are working crow can work our crows. Bend elbows, straight arms, I don't mind. So this would be a crow. You see how I'm getting my elbows right over my wrists. Not like this, but just right. Index fingers are pointing forward. All little check marks, no angel wings. I'm keeping my collarbones really broad. Nothing changes, I just lift one foot. Maybe I just lift the other foot. Maybe I lift one foot and the other foot. But my neck, shoulders, nothing changes. It's all very nice and light. Okay? So either or. So June, are you doing side crow really easily? No? Then we're just gonna work on crow.
Oh,
As opposed to pick up. That was
side
the
crow is way harder than this, you know?
Do whatever you want. That's my advice to you. If you don't wanna take it, that's totally up to you.
No, because this side crow is so much harder than everything else.
It's a certain stability in the shoulders I'm looking for, and it's up to you. Do you wanna keep doing your recipe? Go for it. You wanna try my recipe? I'm suggesting that you just work on crow and not going into your habit of crow. But up to you.
Okay.
Or heron. Nice.
How close is your head supposed to be? Am I
There's not supposed to be, that works. Shoulders distance are a little wider than a traditional, like that's a katana shoulders distance, that works. There's, not too wide,
Yeah.
definitely not too narrow. Yeah. You could do a traditional degatage, a lot harder. Katana, less hard. Do katana. So if crow's really easy, then work on heron, where you try and get, not the shin, but the actual knee on the backs of the arms, and you try and keep it in the armpits, and you lift the feet like that, right?
You kind of started wider a little bit. Or
It could. I keep mine together, like that. Right? I think that's what I do anyway. And I have them in that middle line, which is easier to hold.
It's hard to hold.
Or just working a nice squat is great. A squat on a block is great. Finding this here. Seeing if you can find that elbow connection we're talking about. Arms push into legs, legs push into arms. Nice. So you can start to get the wrists ready. So yeah. So this is me too much on my pinky wrist. This is me too much on my thumb wrist. You see the difference? You got it. Now arms push into legs, legs push into arms to straighten up the mid back. So this is happening. So we're going to pull the arm bones in, we're going to lengthen the back. You feel that difference? Nice. Now arms are going to push into legs, legs are going to push into arms. Like Suzanne Summers, my arms are the thigh master pushing into my thighs, and my thighs are squeezing my arms. That will get me crow. In a beginner class, it's always nice to know if you've got students that are a little bit ambitious and putting a bolster in front of them. Cheryl had someone pop over onto their nose. So hands wider than Jimmy make it a lot easier. It was in camera use. And she knew the ladies, like she was like, don't do it, don't, and then, Yeah.
I've done it.
Just like right in front of their face, you mean?
Yeah.
I've done that.
And then let's come into Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet are going to clap, knees are going to come nice and wide, hands on the thighs, nice big inhale to come forward. Let's let the heads hang. We're not looking for epic length and back. If you want to put something on your feet to rest your head on, if you want me to grab you, you've got 2 blocks, is nice. Do you mind checking me that for 2 seconds? So this is really nice, right? Or anything else. This is nice. Can anyone tell me why we wouldn't put weight on the inner heel? So this is the go into labor pressure point, and I've never heard of actually ever doing anything, but you would not want it to be on your shift. But it's nice if you're not pregnant.
Yeah. You guys can have classes.
And just finding your breath, nice deep, full breaths. So without speaking, let's all think of what might be a nice counter pose. Everyone's like, Shavasana. That would be a really nice counter pose. Let's go 10 more breaths here. And then nice and slow coming up. Let's draw those knees together. Anybody, who do you think we need? Let's go with Winnoa.
I was thinking a back bend.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah. Anything else? Anybody else? Say anything? Yeah. In addition to anything else? I kind of want to raise here. Yeah. Does that make sense? That's a lot of this, right? Hip flexors. So let's start with the back bending. I'm assuming we wanted to support it back then. So does everybody have 2 blocks? Okay. You need another? All right, so we're going to do supported bridge, and we can do a leg lift if we want to. So let's just look at the pose first, because there's so many stages of little bridge. So this is a little bridge, right? For some people, this is a little bridge. For some people, this is a little bridge. I really like to use 2 blocks in my little bridge, right? Like that. Shoulder heads down. You're monitoring that neck, so you've always got that nice cervical curve. Knees and feet are hips distance apart. To get off of this, I lift up once, I come down, I lift up twice. 3rd time I can remove and come down. When I come down, I want to make sure my feet are really firmly on the floor. If we wanted to, we could lengthen the quad away from the knee and take 1 foot back and find that ankle lift. Hips stay level, pubic bone stays level, ribs are firing. Then we can release that. We could bring the other one back. Find that, none of this business, right? Maybe that's too much, maybe it's not, depends on if you do saddle pose. Some of us are able to catch both, right? Find that, right? We're not going to do legs up just because that's a lot of more hip flexor work. We're going to lift up 3 times. We're going to remove and come down. But just so we see it, the legs up version is really nice. And if we absolutely felt like we needed to do that, we could. If all that bending knees felt like a lot. But then we'd want to make sure we did that before we release the hip flexors. And coming down, I go 1 leg, other leg, unless I have a really strong core. Nice and slow. And then once you're done with that, we're going to lie flat on our back, arms out, palms up. We're just going to open our eyes, keep our gaze fixed. Try not to blink. And then we'll do the next one. All right, so when you're ready, coming down onto your backs, having your blocks handy. Knees and feet at hips distance apart. So basically, we're just going the opposite direction, right? We did a lot of this. And then we're going to be here a bit, so really finding a pose that's comfortable, letting our bodies and not our egos choose that pose. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, no, you can totally get it. So just for fun, bring your feet down. Let's see if we can find these words. I want you to think, yeah, floating ribs to one another, back rib cage roots. Nice. And then when you move it, try not to lose it. There you go. So really think back to the knees to kneecaps, knees hugging back onto the kneecaps. So that good hug, crease, tap to crease. Ankle crease towards heels, heels pull back, armpits into shoulders. Outer armpit wraps around to push the armpit forward, shoulder heads root. Sternum bug lifts and broadens, collarbones pull apart. Pull the armpits apart. Find the stability in the arms, find the stability in the ribs. If you know that your core is good to go, you're firing your ribs and you want to bring the legs up, you can bring them up one at a time if that's not the case. Good. Eventually we do both legs together, but if you feel the core is there, do it. Think of all that hamstring work you learned this morning. It's a goodie for you. Yeah, find those legs, nice. It's good prep for shoulder stand and headstand the new way. Yeah. But don't let me change this. Yeah. So see if you can find more active in the feet, like stronger. Yeah. Whether they're down or whether they're up, just think stable. And then bend your knees, bring your legs down together if you've got the core, or one at a time if you know you have any sensitivity in your back or your core isn't, as strong as others parts of your body. And then if you want to draw the foot back, you can, right, like a virasana. Being mindful, so try not to swing the knee out if possible. So really listening to those knees. It's not a pose for everybody.
Are we doing one and then the other and then both?
Yeah. And then really push it at the top of the foot, try and lengthen the Achilles. Ankle crease to heel, back of the knee to kneecap, and then hug it back. Hip flexor to butt, lengthen the flesh of the butt away from the low back. Try and keep that rib connection. So what we're kind of missing here, if you can find it, is this lifting up. Yeah, and then this lengthening, but just right. I don't want you to feel your knee at all.
I feel the top of my foot.
Yeah, which is a good place to stretch. Really keeping those thighs active. Outer thighs squeezing the block, inner thighs dropping the block. Slowly release that leg, try the other leg. So lengthening the quad towards the knee, lifting the hamstring up towards the quad, drawing the hamstring towards the butt. There you go. Find that stability. Calf to shin. Try and get rid of the wrinkles in the Achilles. Yeah, ankle connection.
Yeah, so like,
Yeah, there you go. Lengthen. Create a tug of war between the elbow and the armpit. The ankle and the back of the knee. Lengthen that quad, breathing. And then releasing that foot when you're ready. If you want to do both, do both. If you don't want to do both, don't do both. No loosey-goosey knees floating, really keeping it stable. Too much of a good thing is still too much, so coming out of any position that's not appropriate for you. Keep the ribs, think flush of the butt moving away from low back. Lengthen the quads towards the knees as if the knees were pushing into a table, but the kneecaps were pulling back away from that table. Try and stay connected into those ribs. Flush the butt away from low back. And slowly releasing one at a time. Really think about engaging as you do so. Stay with a neutral leg. Try and get your ankles right underneath your knees. Let's bring those feet to me. Yeah, keep coming, 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 stop. So nice, two things if you're teaching. The shins at that angle can be really tricky for certain body types, right? Especially if they're very tight, it's gonna pull into their knees, right? So for beginners, it's important. And if we feel it and teach it, then they're more likely to do it. And then number two, for you, to get more strength to lift up into back bends, you wanna stack. We're gonna lift up 3 times before we remove the blocks, and then we're gonna remove the blocks and come down. Try not to let the knees go wide or narrow, but keep the ankles, knees, and hips in that nice straight line. And then come down one disc, one vertebra at a time. And then you're gonna lie flat on your back, eyes open, fix your gaze. Think about broadening your nostrils from the opening all the way up the bridge. Think about little sticks between your eyelids. Inner eyelids trying to drop the stick, outer eyelids trying to squeeze the stick. See if you can blow your eyeballs up 5%. 3-part yoga breath, up and down the spine. And then slowly, with control, blink your eyes 3 times. Slowly close, slowly open. Slowly close, slowly open. And then just close your eyes and keep them closed. And then open your eyes, roll off to the side, push yourself up. So I'm gonna give you 3 options. First option is gorgeous, and this is amazing, especially if you want to find the rib connection, okay? It's also great for desk workers, anyone with turtlenecking stuff. It's great for you to find the opening through the chest and the collarbones. So you lie down, you lift up the back of the neck, and you let the bolster slide the shoulders down the back until the shoulders are taking the weight. What do you think is more intense, this or this? More intense? Medium intense? Less intense, right? So you can adjust based on that. Shoulder heads down, armpits lifting, really trying to find that rib connection, neutral neck. If this is feeling fabulous when you find those legs, you could do a crossing, great place to find that heel connection, hugging one side, count, lift your knees, unwind, cross the other way, hug, and count here, okay? If you pull it into your back, how do you make it less? If it feels like too much, how do you make it less? Right? To come out of it, if you just slide, you're probably going to tear a shirt. So you do like a shoulder walk until you're down like this, and then you can do that same eye opener here. Okay? So our rest between our back bends, no matter what our back bends are that eye biting, because we're probably getting a little bit of fatigue, right? No, we're not tired at all. So second option is Erdva with the flipped wrist. If you've never done Erdva before, this is not the day that you're learning Erdva. This is not a back bending workshop, okay? So you would just do what I just showed, and I'm happy to help you with that. Pull the elbows in, reach the elbows away. This is going to help you to keep the rotation. Bring it up, find the connection. We're going to do at least one regular Erdva, right? And then maybe just there, it's going to bring one leg back, find that foot, come down onto the ground, and walk the hands back to the foot. And maybe she's going to straighten that out. Hips level, and then she's going to bring it back. We're circling that one a while. Get this through, up, and down. I'll walk you through it. Have you done that with me? Years ago.
Yeah, I've done it in a while.
Yeah. And then if you practice that, leg lift. Why can she do that and no one else? What is the pose?
Lotus.
Not lotus, but very good answer. She can do full camel, which is very, very good at it.
Right.
Right? Makes sense? All right. A, B, or C?
So if we're looking for the ground, we'll do 3 regular ones.
2, with the eye open in between. You can flip the wrist. We already did 1 back bend, we're going to do 2 more. Sound good?
Yeah.
No leg lifts.
You can do whatever you want. Yeah. I'm going this way because we want to open this up. We just spent so much time closing it today.
Oh, okay.
Let's open it.
Yeah.
We'll close it a little bit at the end, but does that make sense?
Absolutely.
It's the math, right? Are your hands equal distance from your head? So, I'll talk you through it.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm going to talk you both through it at the same time.
Yes.
So the secret to this one, ladies, is to have it hit as high up as you can.
Oh, okay.
And to give yourself a really nice long crash pad. So you've got this nice long crash pad. All right, so
So I find out.
So just watch me, yeah. And so you sit down at this end, right? You might want to move away a little bit, and then you lay down one vertebra at a time. You grab the back of the skull and you let the bolster slide the shoulders away from the back of the neck to release. And you stop when the shoulders just take the weight, and then you really find the ribs. And then you can have your arms out beside you, you can have your T, you can have your cactus. And then you hang out here, and then if it feels fabulous, you can cross and hold. And then you count how long, and then you wiggle, 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 wiggle till you're back down. Nice. Yeah, perfect. So a nice one for you to find. Do you feel the ribs pop? So think about, yeah, there you go. It's such a nice strength for you.
How many regular intervals was you supposed to do first?
Just one as a warm-up is enough. I didn't do one, and I haven't done that since I probably talked to you. Okay. All right, when you're ready. The other thing she can do is full virasana, if that makes sense. Okay. So in this one, you got to find the tug of war between the elbows and the knees, and really think flesh a butt away from low back. And then you're gonna take 1 foot back, and you're gonna bring it down for virasana. Yeah. And then you're gonna bring your head down. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're good.
Oh, there's my foot, okay.
Yeah. So find the stability. Yeah. And we've gone a little bit to one side.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's come out where you found it. Up, up. Yeah. And then step it through. Yep.
I find that so confusing, I just get
It's
so
hard.
lost.
Yeah, so try going a little bit slower.
Okay.
Yeah, so come, do you want to take a rest or are you good?
Maybe I'll take a step.
Yeah, just take a rest, neutral.
Then my mind will be paying
Yeah.
attention better.
Do you want to see me do it one more time? Because I should do the other
Do you
side.
mind?
Yeah, I did this leg back.
I pretty much always just do both legs, like I rarely do it one leg.
Yeah, so eventually we do a leg lift in this. It's beautiful. It's a different pose. It's such a nice shoulder opener. It teaches a lot of connection, right? It's nice. It's good, right? And then this foot comes back, and I really take my time to find it, and I bring it down. I'm less bendy than you, and I'm gonna be a little more mellow, so I'm gonna go further away, but I'm gonna keep the hips stable. I grab it.
Yeah.
I walk this foot away eventually to straighten, and then this hand comes in. I can either lift up here and step out, or I can come out the other way. And you can do Virasana, so even if you come forward,
No big
you're
deal.
here, which I know you can do, right? So even if you fail, down.
When it comes to this type of stuff, I'm kind of nervous to do it without you touching me.
I get it. Well, you want someone to talk you through it and grab you if you need it.
Right, and I did.
Left shin, now reach into the backs of the knees and take it back. Be less ambitious. So more length in the back, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
More space here, good.
So how far?
That's perfect.
That's far.
Now pull into the knees, yeah, there you go. Beautiful, and you kept the length this time so it's more stable.
Oh, that's so much harder.
Yeah, and you see you didn't lose the pelvis, you didn't lose the elbows, losing the ribs a tiny bit. Ugh. And maybe the hands come back, maybe they don't, maybe, yeah,
Is that okay?
beautiful. I'll take a, oh, I don't know where my phone is actually. I was gonna say I'll take a photo so you can see it, but it's good. And don't worry about straightening the leg today.
Yeah, no, this is enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lift up. You can always walk that other foot a bit if you need to. There you go, good. And then down and out. Lengthen the back.
Okay, I'll keep working on it. That doesn't feel so scary. I
It's
can do
not, it's so easy. You can do,
It's doable.
it's really, honestly, it's just a head thing.
it. Yeah. And I'm just like, what? I'm so scrambled.
How's everybody feeling? Have they crossed their knees differently so that if you're doing across the shins or both sides, even if not, even them out. And then taking a few more breaths here. So when you do this, I know the shoulders need to be on the floor. You feel how your shoulders aren't on the floor and there's like a space between. It's more metal, just so you know, here. And then find the elbows, pushing the knee. Yeah. Armpits pushing the knee. Yeah, beautiful. Wrist pushing the knee. So again, it's looking for that stability and mobility. Nice. You feel that difference? And then let's come out of this, uncrossing their legs if they're crossed. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. So ideally we would have left a crash pad and then we go that way, but you can bend your knees and roll off. Following that by you, eyes open, gaze fixed. Walk up. This slightly different place.
Are we coming up?
Eventually, everyone's doing something different. So I'm not back down.
That's okay. Almost sweet.
And slowly closing your eyes 3 times, and then just keep them closed. And then bend your knees, roll off to one side, bring yourself up. Get what you need to sit on your shins comfortably with your shoulders over your hip bones. Really nice and good. Anybody? We all have 2? We're good? Okay. So grab whatever height you need to sit comfortably so your shoulders can truly be over your hips, right? So we don't want this. Close to the neck. If you can sit on your feet, it's right big toe on top of left big toe. We're going to put a ball into our armpits, right? We're going to squeeze it and we're going to try and move it forward without dropping it. And then we're going to either find, if we can't push our hands into our thighs, we're going to put a block on our thighs to push into. What do you think I'm going to tell you to sit on?
Wow, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not gonna be sitting on my feet then, right?
You're going to sit on the block
Yeah.
so that you're not doing this.
Yeah.
What's one option?
Perfect. You knew it, girl. Well done. So, shoulder heads back, armpits forward. When don't we do Kabbalah? Tell me when.
Oh, goodness. Pregnancy?
Yeah.
Eyes, something like that.
Yeah. Glaucoma, cataracts. Yeah. Diarrhea. Yeah. Do you know any?
During your menstruation?
Do you know any?
Is there anything
I know you, well, you might, but do you want to finish up?
I wouldn't do it bad
That's vomiting, diarrhea, sinusitis. Yeah.
Or digestive issues?
It's good for digestive issues, but not if you've had surgery necessarily. If I had stomach cancer, I probably wouldn't do it. Right? Does that make sense? But constipation, bomb, right? Slow metabolism, bomb. Clarity of thought, brilliant.
What about high blood pressure?
That is debatable. So that goes both ways, and hernia goes both ways too. I've heard a lot of people say one way and a lot of people say the other way. I practiced it with the hernia and it really helped me get rid of, the scar tissue pain. I used to feel the metal and now I feel it less. But that's a good thing to talk about, yeah. So high blood pressure, we want them, to feel their bodies, and if they got dizzy or lightheaded or too much, right, then it would be too much. So think about the elbow creases, think about lifting up the armpits, think about the activity in the elbows, get the ears over the shoulders, and move those balls forward, take the shoulder heads back. Yeah. There you go. You feel that? Yeah. So, hunch, get rid of it. So move the balls forward, but hold on to them. There, look at the chest, you feel that? Doesn't that feel good? Yeah.
It hurts. It's just hanging on.
Does it really hurt?
Yeah, the balls and.
It doesn't hurt me. If it hurts you, get rid of it. If you're really, truly hurting,
No.
then get rid of it. So, again, great place to look at language.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I don't think they can see.
Yeah. But they don't lie, which is nice. This has to armpit lift up.
Did you put this one back more?
I'm just easing you out.
Okay. That's good. Now it's straight.
Yeah, the backside here. Yeah. So if we get any bubbles, we get any tension, we just stop, right? We don't want to have to over exaggerated lumbar curves. We want the floating ribs come to one another and root back. If you're not used to it, it feels like too much with the balls, ditch them. Some of us need to find the balls. Think about rooting back into my fingers and lengthen up out of those hips. Nice. Lengthen the armpits up, up. Shoulders relax. Nice. Shoulder heads back to me. Yeah. So the exhale is kind of active. I wouldn't say force, but it feels like it's a forced effort. And as we exhale, we pull the belly back. Right? Relax the shoulders down. Especially the right one. Relax it down to nothing. The inhale is automatic, so we don't even have to think about it. It just sucks in, right? So what it sounds like is, what it doesn't sound like is, that will cause tension, right? We're literally looking for the vacuum. So when you're ready, we're going to start with a cleansing breath. If at any point it doesn't feel right, you just stop, right? If at any point you want to ditch those balls, ditch those balls. See what you can do. Big inhale, big exhale, big inhale, draw the belly back, exhale. Just going to do 40, pause there. If you need to shift or adjust anything, now would be the time to do so, right? You can straighten out a leg, you can change your seat. If you can be still, be still. If you need a tissue, just open your eyes and I will grab you a tissue. If the balls are hard, just ditch them. Some of us have done this for 10, 15 years and some of us haven't, so the balls, are optional. Your sternum bone is getting so much nicer on both sides. You know what I mean? Good. So we bend our left index finger to indicate we've done one round. We take about a minute in between sets, and then when you're ready, we're going to take a big inhale, big exhale, nice big inhale. Check in with your habits. Bending the middle finger to signify that you've done 2 rounds. During this minute break is the time to shift or adjust. If you open your eyes, it means you want a tissue. Is that true?
Oh,
Is your neck neutral or are you looking at the floor? If you were to open your eyes, check, check, check. And then when you're ready, big inhale, big exhale, nice big inhale, draw the belly back. finger to signify you've done 3. And then when you're ready, big inhale, big exhale, another big inhale, exhale, draw the belly back. Bend that pinky. And so this is an energizer, right? So sometimes you feel a little buzzy, and if we felt that buzz 20 minutes later, we want to reassess that a little bit. Scan your body, and without moving it, notice if you collapse anywhere, notice if anything has shifted. And just memorize, where did I collapse when I did Kabbalah? And then really find your feet, find your legs, find your hip flexors, flush the butt down, lift those armpits up away from the hip flexors, take the shoulder heads back, get those ears right over those shoulders. If you need to lengthen more in the back body, lengthen in the back body. If you need more of a sternum bug lift, find that. Everybody's different. Sit up nice and tall and take notes as to what you moved. Relax the shoulders down over those balls. The shoulders lift up, but the armpits lift up, but the shoulders relax down. And release. Let's open up the backs of the knees. Index fingers are going to point forward. Just going to open up the backs of the knees. Toes to come onto your butts, or you can take your feet out to one side, hand out to the other side to come onto your butts. We're going to come onto our backs and do happy baby. So drawing length through the torso, taking the knees a little bit wide, and starting with bent knees with your hands on the caps of your knees. And again, really lengthen from the hip flexors to the armpits, lift the knees into the hands push back into the knees. Think crease of ankle towards heel, heel hugs back. And then maybe you can take the ankles up so that the shins are level or straight. Maybe you can walk your hands up towards those feet. That's tricky, be lower. We don't want to sacrifice the alignment to grab those feet. See if you can get your big toe mounds, baby toe mounds level. See if you can keep the action in the elbows, the wrists, and the armpits like we've learned, keeping a nice neutral neck. Pulling down as you're picking up and lifting up. I'm just breathing here. And if this is like, whoa, Nelly, enough for you, this is a great place to stay. But if you're going further, really tug of war between the hip flexors and the backs of the knees. Tug of war between the ankles and the backs of the knees. Move your shins into your arms and your arms into your shins to get that calf connection. And then without going loosey-goosey, release the left foot, bring the foot onto the floor with a bent left knee. And think of intense leg stretches. Try and find the ankle, the knee, and the hip in a nice straight line. And then maybe you can start to straighten that left heel away from you, coming into half happy baby. Beautiful breath. Again, hip flexor away from armpit. 2 sides of the torso, nice and even in length. Next time we'll do this too. Hold on to that, yeah, and then roll a little harder with your knees. Slide the knees and repeat. But then watch the knees, yeah, so externally rotate, yeah. Yeah, so you're gonna flex your arm so hard, and then bend your knees as much as you can. Yeah, there you go.
All those over around.
Yeah, that'd be great. And the shoulder heads, yeah, that's a nice, feel that center butt lift. Perfect. And then slowly bend the straight leg, bend it, and then really thinking about lifting from the joints. And then swap sides. Think of that back rib cage rooting. Think about 2 sides of the torso, even in length. Think about those outer trochanterids coming to one another. Beautiful breath. Come on, my sweatshirt. And just like we learned this morning, really think about suspending the joints as you start to lift that. I think it's the right leg, start to bend it, lift at the joints. Think of the zigzag, back into happy baby. And then let the feet come down and just be loosey-goosey a little bit, rock from side to side. You can have your knees together or not. You could make some circles. You could pulse, do what you feel like you need to do. And then make your way into Shavasana. We're gonna do a yoga nidra, so I'm gonna come by with a neck bolster. Love it. You can use the neck bolster as a pillow or as a neck bolster, but if at any point it feels like, ooh, this is too much of a good thing as a neck bolster, use it as a pillow. You want to try and have a neutral neck. Some of us need to like dent the pillow a little bit so it's not quite so big. Bolster under the knees is the magic. Does anybody want a blanket? Yeah. Just one taker. Bolsters, anybody?
Oh, yeah, it's.
This is
I will
such
take
a
it.
good, you got it,
Yeah.
thank you. Has anyone not ever done a yoga nidra? So it's a subconscious meditation designed to rid ourselves of habitual behavior that lies deep in our subconscious. But you're very welcome. The tricky part is that our subconscious doesn't understand no or negative words. So if we said, I am free of pain, it's really hearing, I am pain. If we said, no, beg your pardon. I have no pain.
Yeah.
It's really hearing I have pain. I need to put the blankets on and then give the nidra. No multitasking after 6 hours of teaching. If you said, I don't drink, it's saying, I drink, right? So you want to say it as if it already exists. I have reached my fullest potential. I'm free of all pain. My knee feels fabulous, whatever it is. I am an amazing yoga teacher. I am a perfect wife and mother. If anybody needs a blind closed, just let me know. Yeah. So taking a minute now to do what you need to do to adjust, to shift, to make yourself as comfortable as possible so that you don't need to move during the practice unless it's absolutely necessary.
Is there anything I can move my pelvis with?
Is that good? The practice of Yoga Nidra now begins. For this practice, we're going to take a trip through the different parts of our body. And as I name those different parts of the body, you are to simultaneously become aware of that part of your body and encourage it to relax. Maybe even silently saying the name of that body part after me as you encourage that part of your body to relax. The practice always begins with the right hand. Right hand thumb, second finger, third, fourth, fifth finger. Back of the right hand, palm of the hand, right wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder, armpit, chest, right rib cage, waist, hip, buttock, right thigh, knee, calf, shin, right ankle, heel, sole of the right foot, top of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third, fourth, fifth toe. Now for the left side of the body. Left hand thumb, second finger, third, fourth, fifth finger. Back of the left hand, palm of the hand, left wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, left shoulder, armpit, chest, left rib cage, waist, hip, buttock, left top of the left foot. Left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, fifth toe. Now for the back of the body. Everything facing the floor. Back of the skull, back of the neck. Right shoulder, left shoulder. Right rib cage, left rib cage. Right waist, left waist. Right buttocks, left buttock. Back of the right thigh, back of the left thigh. Back of the right knee, back of the left knee. Right calf, left calf. Right heel, left heel. Sole of the right foot, sole of the left foot. Now for the front of the body. Everything not facing the floor. Top of the right foot, top of the left foot. Right ankle, left ankle. Right shin, left shin. Right kneecap, left kneecap. Right thigh, left thigh. Right hip flexor, left hip flexor. Abdomen. Right rib cage, left rib cage. Right shoulder, left shoulder. Sternum. Right collarbone, left collarbone. Throat. Jaw, tongue, teeth, lips, right cheek, left cheek, right nostril, left nostril, right ear, left ear, right eye, left eye. Right eyebrow, left eyebrow, forehead, relax. Feel the whole right arm evenly, simultaneously feel the whole right arm heavy. Whole of the right leg. Evenly, simultaneously feel the whole right leg heavy. Whole of the left arm. Evenly, simultaneously feel the whole of the left arm heavy. Whole of the left leg. Evenly, simultaneously feel the whole of the left leg heavy. Right arm and right leg together. Feel both right arm and right leg together. Heavy. Feel the whole right side heavy. Evenly, simultaneously feel the whole right side of your body heavy. left arm, left leg. Feel both left arm and left leg together. Evenly, simultaneously feel the whole left side together, heavy. Feel the whole left side together, heavy. Whole of the right side of the body, whole of the left side of the body. Both right side and left side together. Feel the whole body together. Feel the whole body heavy, lying perfectly still on the floor. And within the whole body, begin to cultivate gratitude. We cultivate gratitude by thinking of one thing or many things for which we are truly grateful. Feeling overwhelmed, all consumed with gratitude. Grateful in the knowing that it is through gratitude that we create the most fertile soil upon which we plant seeds of intention. So allowing yourself to plant a seed. Using positive language, state your intention 3 times right now. Then once again, gratitude. Grateful in the knowing that this seed, this intention which you have planted, if you care to nurture it, it will grow into your reality. Allowing yourself to visualize what that reality might look like. See yourself going through your day-to-day routine with that intention a part of your routine. Focus, concentrate, visualize. Becoming aware of your natural, spontaneous breath within your body. Watching that breath like you watch the waves of the ocean not trying to change the breath in any way. Simply observe. Noticing as you inhale, the breath expands inside the body. Notice as you exhale, the breath contracts within your body. Begin to wake your body from the inside by deepening that spontaneous breath. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. When you're ready, nice big inhale to stretch your arms. Exhale to let the arms fall down heavy. Making your way to your seat, no rush. For the practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. Then when you're ready, we're going to bring our hands into Namaskar. Let's end with 5 ohms, low, medium, high, medium, low, before we dedicate the merit of our practice. May we use this class to be mindful of the words of Swami Ramakrishna. May we live like we were going to die tomorrow. May we learn like we were going to live forever. Thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your practice. Namaste.